Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who have been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. We are here for a Super League preview show, our annual show where we cast our eyes across all the other squads, their recruitment, their coaches, and kind of give a little prediction on where we think they'll finish. Joining me for this one is Chris. How are you?
I'm all right. Very well.
And the legendary Duncan is back for 2025.
He's back.
This is your fifth year of reviewing. We've just discussed your new contract for 2025. You've had an enormous pay increase. Have you been getting offers from NRL podcasts?
Everywhere.
Because we've just paid and signed on the line. So you need to provide, as you always have.
He's just told me that the OKR podcast want him on.
OKR? Is that right? You've been in discussion?
He's been having good contact talks with
Been
them.
having a lot of discussions with him on Twitter, yeah.
We're going to review...
It's not going well.
No, it isn't. No, we're going to preview the whole of all the other squads, cast our eyes of it, and kind of give a couple of predictions along the way. We do this every year, and this is for 2025. But before we do that, our Leeds Rhinos Media Day video is now available to watch over on our YouTube channel. This year we spoke to Brodie Croft, Michael Edsky, Matt Frawley, Tom Nicholson-Watton, Bestie of the Pod, Jared, and new Bestie of the Pod,
Lackey,
I think so, because he's got a lot of love. He were livid that we didn't put him down to talk to. Yeah, he was swearing at us. Head on over to YouTube now. Just search for the Lot Pod.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, we loved it. It was freezing, even more cold than the previous year.
Yeah,
somehow. And whilst you're there, also please subscribe to the channel. So I think we need to start. We all hate them. We do. We all detest them.
Is that you going to say that for every club?
Yeah. We hate them, but we'll start with the top because unfortunately they are the best. They're by an absolute country mile. And of course I'm talking about the Leeds Rhinos. I'm joking. Wigan Warriors. Matt Pete, 6 trophies in 3 seasons. Wigan are quite obviously the team to beat this upcoming season. They've only made 1 signing. I don't know if that's accurate. George Hurst from Oldham. Duncan, Wigan don't need to change much at all, do they really?
I think their big off-season was nailing down in December.
Yeah.
And they got him on a massive contract, haven't they? Well, lengthwise, 6 years. Yeah, like you've said, the yardstick probably for every other team. Certainly for us, even though we hammered him at Headingley last year.
Yeah, we did. We'll do that again.
They did hammer us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk.
We don't mention that.
We don't mention that one, Chris.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, I think I don't like the fact that I like Matty Pete.
It's difficult. It leaves a sour taste at the back of the. It itches.
It does, but I've had so many years of hating Wigan. It's getting a bit boring.
Do you know what? I actually hate Saints more now.
Yeah. I think
do you agree?
I
hate Saints more than Wigan.
Got a big. Well, I think we might move on to another team that don't go like as much. But, we've had some good tussles with Saints, haven't we? But they've had the measure of us. Anyway, we've moved on to Saints.
I think Saints kind of took over from our domination, didn't they?
Yeah.
So and then we were just that poor that we were never ever in it, and then Wigan have sort of taken over from Saints now.
And now
they didn't need to make many changes, did they? But I don't think they'll do the same again.
No, because we'll.
They better not.
Because we'll do it. Just on Matty Pete, well, it's like when they did sign Matty Pete as the coach, I think everyone on the planet, I think I'm right in saying, just laughed at that appointment.
Even when he started, I think after his first season, there were a lot of Wigan fans saying he's not right for it.
Who is this guy? I think he was working in Sports Direct at the time when they kind of said, "Do you know anything about rugby league, mate?" And they just kind of clawed him in. And he had a big mug, and he said, "Yeah, I know a bit. I'm a Wigan lad." And now, from that appointment to where they are, to what they've done, I hate Wigan, but you've got to give him enormous kudos.
Yeah, well, he's come through the system there, hasn't he? So it's a bit like when you bring an academy player through. You all right?
Did you see that?
How can you miss that gob?
Massive cop. I've just spilled iron brew. I look like I've pissed myself. Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, they've kind of like... He's come through the academy ranks there coaching, and it feels like he gets it, doesn't he? Well, he gets Wigan.
Yeah.
It's like when we bring an academy player through and they get the club. It feels like he's instilled his identity on the team, but kept like the core values of Wigan.
It's one of those that could have gone either way, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I only had a really bad first year.
Yeah.
And we need someone better. But the irony wasn't Sean Edwards lined up at some point, and then he
gave backward and ended up France Union defensive coach. Something.
But I think it's like Duncan says, no system, and it's about the values, isn't it? And that's very rare that you'll get that. And the stars just aligned for him. I think they've got a good team. You could say they might be a bit over reliant on the two superstars. But,
as any club would be there.
But most clubs are. Aren't they?
Yeah, with
so
their own,
if you take them out, then I don't know, and I just can't see it letting up. But I don't think they'll win all three.
I agree. So, in terms of finishing position, Duncan, what are you expecting?
I still think they'll be top with a bit in hand.
Do
you agree?
Yeah, and I remember, and we can go back and check this if anybody's that bored.
Someone will be.
One year I picked them to be top, and you laughed at me.
That's someone like me. that's
if someone last year either.
If someone can look back in the archive and find that.
I think it was year before. But anyway, I think they'll be top. I don't think there'll be anybody to touch them. Whether that'll mean a grand final win,
we'll come to that.
I don't know.
We'll come to that later in the pod. I think Wigan will finish second. We'll move on to the club I kind of hate more than Wigan these days, and that's St Helens. They've signed Tristan Taylor, Kyle Felt, and Lewis Murphy. Lewis Murphy is a player, Dunk, that... And I always say this, that whenever other clubs sign players, would I have loved them to sign for Leeds? Obviously, we've got Sevo and things changed, but had Lewis Murphy signed for the Rhinos, I'd have been over the moon.
Yeah.
Do you feel?
But I don't think he fits. I don't think he fits the Brad Arthur way, does he?
No.
I think
Sevo definitely does.
Yeah,
still a good player.
Yeah.
He's still a youngster as well, isn't he? He's still learning.
Thing is, though, he's missed quite a bit of rugby, so it'd be interesting to see how he goes. He's miles better than that T. Ritson that they've got. John Bennison. Yeah. So,
John Bennison
he's miles better.
I'm sure he's a lovely lad.
He's a great guy.
He's miles better than them two, so we'll have to see.
Saints can't get any worse, can they? Then now, and I say that I'm only joking because they have incredibly high standards. They've got a great pedigree, so they're going to be way better this year.
I'm not overly bothered what they do. I just want us
we don't care.
I just want us to beat them
every single time we play them
because we haven't had a good run against them for a while. But I think they're a bit of an aging squad.
I think they'll start off well, and then I think when you get around Easter time and they've got to back up, I think that's where they could start getting a few because they've got a lot of players that are 33, 34.
Conrad Hurrell, aren't they?
That's how desperate they are.
So I just don't like the makeup of them at the moment. I think they're just a bit old.
No.
Walmsley's not going to be as destructive.
No.
And
he looked half the player last year, and then he's still going to be wearing a shirt this year.
I think I said last year that they look like a team of second rowers, and I think that'll be their Achilles heel.
I think they're just at the. I mean, we've been there, still are. The back end of that, their own purple patch, their own golden generation.
They haven't had the big dip yet.
No, not yet.
I think they're due it this year.
Do you think so?
I think so. I know they did. They only scraped into playoffs, didn't they, last year? But
it depends. It depends, doesn't it? Breers is a good addition.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
A very good addition.
I didn't even have that written on there. I completely forgot about it. So is he? Because Paul Wellens is on a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
Is that just?
Let's
see how he goes because we've got the guy sat next to you that's definitely 100,000,000% going to get your job, mate. So
I think Breers
has more pressure to him.
I don't know. Breers has done a load of interviews where he's said that he's happy being a number 2.
But he's going to say that whilst he is a number
that
2.
Sounds like Danny Maguire did until he thought he were ready.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, he has come over from Brisbane, so you kind of think there's something behind why he's come back. I know they obviously say he's homesick, but giving up the Gold Coast to go live in St Helens, there's got to be something else.
He must have a gun to his head. someone must have threatened. There's no way you make that comparison and make that change. The finishing position for St Helens, producer Chris?
6th.
6th? Scraping in again?
Scraping in again.
5th to 7th, somewhere in them positions.
So you think there's a possibility that they won't?
There's a possibility they could miss out.
I agree. I'll say 10th.
You do realise I'm going to forget what position. I'm going to have about 5 teams on 6.
You ever missed a playoff, so you don't hold us accountable to any of this. Catalans Dragons, they've made several key signers this year, including Nick Kotrick, Elliot Whitehead, Luke Carey. Luke Carey from the Sydney Roosters. Catalans have got a good record, Duncan, of signing these origin halves. They're aging. Maloney, what's the other guy from last year?
Mitchell Pearce.
Mitchell Pearce and the like. They seem to make a good go of it out in France. Do you think Carey will be another success for the Dragons?
He's had his injuries, which is why you get a player like that coming over, because he was going to retire.
So he did retire.
Yeah, well, yeah,
he clawed him back.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Look, he's obviously going to get good weather, isn't
he? Yeah.
Which will help an ageing player. But it's a good side. To be fair, it's not like when Warrington signed Greg Inglis. I think it's a better side. Like, he's not been retired for like 2 years and come back.
He's got more
10 stone overweight. He does actually. I think he'll go all right. I would expect him to miss a few games though, just with injuries and the fact that
the games against Leeds.
Well, yeah. Normally it don't work like that, does it? They normally play against Leeds on belters and then they miss the
games against Wigan and Saints.
Yeah.
You think he'll go well, Carey? Sound like I'm calling you Carey then, Chris?
Yeah. Depends on injury. Depends what his fitness is like. But if they get 20 games of what he's capable of,
if they get 20 games, they'll be chuffed.
Then I don't know what to make of Catalans because they've had such a change. They had such a weird year last year, didn't they? With players leaving, and the form was just worse than ours in some respects. It were all of it shot, wasn't it? I mean, we were just shite for a long time. So, but they'd pull stuff out of the bag and then get beaten, and I really don't know what to make of them. Who've they got instead of Tom Johnson?
Merkinson.
Oh, Merkinson.
Right.
Tommy Merkinson, 42-year-old.
Yeah.
Tommy Merkinson. They've also signed Tavita Pangai Jr. from the Dolphins, who were playing Origin. He had one cap in Origin, I think, 2023. I personally think he's going to destroy this league.
I said that about the guy that ended up at Salford last year, though, Nicarima.
Yeah.
I thought he were going to
pull it up.
Yeah. So you never know, do you?
Well, they signed Tauke Aho, didn't they?
Yeah.
As well last year. He was one of the massissive signings. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be class." And
so you're both telling me that Pangai Jr. is going to flop?
I think look, he's a better calibre of player than what Tauke Aho was, but you just don't know, do you? You don't know when you sign a player of that ilk, you don't know what their motivation is for coming over.
Yeah, I think I don't know whether I can predict a place. It's either going to be high up or low down.
What are you going to say?
I don't think there's any. I think they'll either be third or eighth.
Or eighth. No in between.
No. That's what I think. I think they'll either flop.
I think they'll make the playoffs. Right. I think they'll make the playoffs. What
yeah, I think.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Playoffs. I don't mind them. Now we turn over to the absolute laughing stock.
The bin fire.
That's on fire, and then Richie Myers just trying to put the big fucking fire out by soaking it in petrol, just chucking more and more petrol on and fanning it with a piece of cardboard. We're talking about the Black and Whites over in the east of the country in Hull. Their mental 2024 season has already started to bleed into 2025, which is actually really funny to us sat here as Rhinos fans. They've signed 10 players, I think, but one of them has already left, which, and again, I don't know much about Hull, because who does, but I think he's been there 6 weeks. We're talking about Jordan Abdul, and he's already left. Should we... Well, that is instantly an enormous red flag, right?
Yeah, and...
that's a big, what the hell?
Yeah, what's going on with him? What's going on? What's changed? Unless they're going to get Sneed from Salford, but still, it's... But then,
wasn't
he injured as well, Abdul?
I don't know.
He missed a lot last year, didn't he?
I don't
know what injury he had.
But then, if they do, the 99.9% sure they are going to sign Mark Sneed. But Mark Sneed is 44 years old. Aidan Caesar is 49.
The new
captain.
So you've got Caesar and Mark Sneed, Duncan, as a halfback combinationship in the year 2025.
I think they'll do better than last year.
Really?
Not hard though, is it?
Exactly.
I don't think they will.
Don't you?
No.
I think they'll do better than last year.
Why?
Why?
Just a gut feeling I get. I think they'll do better. I think they're still
simply because they can't be any worse.
Yeah,
right.
But they are poor, really poor.
It's just. The sign they've got half at Leeds Rhinos 2018 backline.
Briscoe.
Yeah, they've got Asiata, Hardacre, Chamberlain, Rapana, Jordan Rapana.
They had Jack Walker as well, but he's gone, hasn't he? So they've got, they're just like a ragtag bunch. I don't get the recruitment strategy.
I think it's a bunch of players that no one else really wanted,
and they've got.
That's how it seems.
They've got some really good young kids as well, haven't they?
I think,
coming through, and they last year will have helped them because they got thrown in, didn't they? But then you think, well, who've they signed that's going to be in front of them? And I don't get what the strategy is.
You look at the ages of these players. I don't have them written down here, but Caesar must be 35. Rapana is 34. Hardacre's 32, 33. Asiata at least 30.
At
least 30.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're doing.
I don't understand the and if I were the owner of Hull, I never would be, and Myler signed these players, I'd be saying, Myler, you're not fit for the purpose, mate. You're signing.
He's chief exec now, and he's just landed that role today.
Are you winding me up?
No.
Who's chief exec?
Myler now.
So he's signed these.
Are you winding us up?
No, 100%. I'm not winding you up. So today they've announced on
the whole fans know this
on Twitter that he's
chief exec.
Chief exec. And he's merging it with director of rugby
because he's done such a good job on recruitment.
Who sacks him from director of rugby?
This guy's ego. He's going to end up playing himself.
Does he take it? Does he go in an office and have a word with himself
in the mirror? You're doing a great job. You deserve a promotion. Gives himself. Well, that's breaking news to me. Not that I follow anything Hull related.
Has he doubled his pay packet?
Finishing position. You slightly one place above last year, Dunk.
Were they bottom last year? No, they were second.
No, they were second London bottom.
They'll stay the same. They'll be 11th.
I'm going with Dunk. 11th. I think they'll start off really badly and not recover. Yeah, they might pick up some sort of bit of form, but they've got so many new players.
I really want to say they'll finish last.
It's a distinct possibility because I think the league's stronger this year. I know it were more competitive last year, as Gary Evans keeps telling us, but it was, but not because of the standard being high.
Yeah.
No,
it was the standard being low.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're going to finish last.
Do it.
Just, do you hear that, Cass fans? I've given that some props to Cass yet again. I'm starting to grow to you. We move over to the other side of Hull. Hull KR. They've signed 9 new players, among them Jared Warrior Hargreaves.
Warrior Hargreaves.
Warrior Hargreaves.
It doesn't matter. You won't have to say his name because he won't be playing.
That's true. He is a legend, though, and if he can stay on the pitch, which again, I don't think there are many, if any, players left in the game that are an enforcer like he is. He is of a dying breed, and if he's a genuine hard man, and if he just has to stay on the pitch, and he'll kill it over here. Do you agree, Dunk?
I think he's a waste of money.
Really? Isn't he still serving a ban?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why is this guy always banned?
But even
some of the, he's not going to do it.
Well, if you look at some of the bans in the NRL, they're not as harsh as Super
No,
League.
they're not.
And that's could potentially be his downfall.
Imagine if they'd have brought them rules in where it were
tackle below armpit. Yeah,
just breast down.
It just might as well have not bothered, does it? Man, don't bother putting your boots on.
Look, Willie Peters is a decent coach. You might get hold of him, but at the end of the day, when you're 35, can you teach an old dog new tricks? It strikes as a slightly better signing than when they signed Willie Mason.
Yeah,
but it could be of that. It could be if they're spaffing a lot of money.
Good word.
On a player that it's a massive, massive gamble. If Leeds had signed him, everyone to a man would be slating the signing. Everyone.
I would have been as well.
I would have. But I mean, Super League as a whole would have been saying, "Oh, what?
Really?
What?
Can you not remember Tetevano?
Remember him?
Yeah.
I'm scarred for life.
Well, I'm not being funny, but
really,
he's going to get more bans than he got.
Perhaps it's just me.
I genuinely think he'll play half.
Have you seen him play recently?
Yeah,
he gets banned more than he's playing.
If he can keep in line.
He can't. He can't. He'll miss at least a quarter of the season.
I think the prediction for this is how many bans.
I think he'll get banned in first game.
Really?
Yeah.
First Old Derby, he's gone, isn't he?
He's gone. They've also signed Tom Davis and Michael McIlaurin. They've signed
Michael McIlaurin, have they?
Yeah.
Have I missed that?
Yeah. We're learning a lot on this pod, aren't we? Richie Martin's the CEO.
You can see how insular we are. We don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, we are a Leeds Rhinos podcast. They've also signed Aribi Doro, Danny Richardson.
Danny Richardson?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Back up in it.
And they've also signed Leon Ruan, of course, from Leeds, and a fella called Reece Martin.
Who?
Yeah, precisely. Who absolutely hates Hull. So he found that out after about...
We watched the
13 minutes? I think he just drove. He got into the Hull KR training complex, which was like...
Do they have one?
Yeah, it was like a local field, and he just did a U-turn, wanted to pull out, but Willie Peters ran him down and banging on his car window saying, Reece, this is us. This is Hull KR.
There was something interesting in that Leeds Rhinos documentary, which, if anyone's from other clubs, you will get a chance to watch it, I believe, at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be free very soon.
On the last episode, he's in tears in the Hull KR dressing room, and he said,
I've got to play here next year.
I'm paraphrasing, but he's in tears, isn't he? And he says, I just wish I could have been with you guys longer.
We'll clip that.
Speaks volumes, that, doesn't it?
Absolutely in bits at the thought of leaving the Rhinos.
But anyway.
Is he going to do much next year? I think he's just... he's
a good signing. He's a class
he
is a good signing.
He's a double agent.
He's
absolutely a double agent. Our fans know that.
Their season rests on Mikey Lewis as it did last year. He had a class year last year. He stayed injury free. He didn't get banned. Can he do it again this year? If he can, then they'll finish higher up in the playoffs. If he can't,
they've got Danny Richardson.
And they've got Danny Richardson to come in. And they haven't got Matt Parcell this year, so that dynamic of Parcell and Litton.
Mickey McIlaurin has come out at care home.
I won't have him cleaning bogs at Leeds. So I think their recruitment's been pretty poor this year. Tom Davis is a good signing.
He is a good signing. I'd have been happy with him.
Yeah.
Good player again. Similar to Lewis Murphy. I'd have been happy with him.
Mickey Mack, Jared, Rui Hargreaves and Matt, and, Ruin.
Don't know, do we? We didn't see enough of him, really, or
no,
did we?
I think they're trying to pad out the squad and they're trying to get a bigger squad with some of them signings. It seems like, but we just have to wait and see. There's loads of people going over the top saying they're going to finish in the top two. I personally don't think they'll be top two.
No chance.
But again, they could do if Lewis stays fit and has a year like he did last year, but it's him backing that up.
So you're saying it's just the Mikey Lewis show? No Mikey Lewis, no.
Reece is going to be interesting because he was Mr. Consistent for us, wasn't he?
It's going to be really It's going to be really interesting as well to see a player playing whilst crying.
Yeah.
Really upset, still trying to play, but tears just
Although, to be fair, we need to temper it because we don't want to end up like Salford fans last year. We cropped. But anyway, it's our turn to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
he's
got the 17 shirt, but I think he'll be starting second row because you don't sign someone primarily for the goal kicking.
I was going to say, they're not going to have Hiku doing goal kicking.
No. So, but it's a big change for him. I know it's not far, but it's a change of environment and he's been at one club for quite a while.
Yeah.
It can affect your form, can't it? So I think, it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And I do wish him well, because he's a lovely guy, isn't he? So,
he's beautiful.
Anyway, that's last time you'll hear me mention him.
We always say that though, don't we? And this is the last time we're mentioning Reece Martin has broke our heart. So you said playoffs?
I think they'll be in the playoffs. If Lewis stays fit, they'll be top 3. If he misses a chunk of the season, they could even miss out.
Well, I'm going 5th or 7th.
And no in between. I think they'll miss out on playoffs. No rhyme or reason. I think they'll miss out on those playoffs. There's a club here called Leeds Rhinos.
Treble.
That was easy.
That's it, then.
We aren't going to touch on the Rhinos too much because we've got a special podcast at the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds on Monday, the 27th of January, with Barry McDermott. This is a free event, so come on down. It's just a first come first serve. If you want to get a seat, get down nice and early. It starts at 7:30, and we're going to record the podcast there with the audience, with Barry, and we're going to pull the whole squad apart and give our predictions for the Rhinos there. But Duncan, what are you expecting briefly from the mighty?
We'll be in the playoffs.
Is that just going? They're not going to go any more in depth there. No,
not after my prediction.
Holding his card close to his chest. Do you want to give a
prediction last year?
Brief,
Chris? I think 3rd or 4th.
I like that.
I think we will win a trophy.
Yeah.
Having seen them up close and personal at the media day, they look fit, as in they're looking really good shape. I hadn't seen them in that good shape. They looked quite good last year, but we've got size added to it. So, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching people try stop Sevo. He is massive.
No one will stop him. I'm going to say the treble for Leeds Rhinos. Wakefield Trinity at the back. They've signed 11 new players upon their return to the top flight. Josh Rourke, Mike McGeechan, Jake Truman, Ollie Russell, Corey Hall, Tom Johnson, to name a few. Tom Johnson, again, it's another winger. And it's another signing that, if he'd signed for Leeds, Chris, I would have been very happy.
I wouldn't, just because of his injury record. And really? I think he's a class player, isn't he?
He always scores against us.
But out of the other two we've mentioned, I'm quite happy he's gone to Wakefield because I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for Wakey, and I can't even tell you why. I think it might be, I just see him as a bit one of those traditional clubs, do you know what I mean? That, like when they went to Wildcats, I hated it, but going back to Trinity, and I've just had a little bit of a soft spot for him, and I can't even tell. It's just a feeling, and I want them to do okay unless they're playing us. But I think they'll do all right. I think they'll surprise a few. They looked pretty sharp Boxing Day, and they had half a team out. They've made some class signings, really, like you mentioned.
For them, yeah.
They're going to give it a good old go, I think. And Darryl Powell's a decent coach, really. He just can't win anything.
No.
Which I don't think that really matters at Wakefield at this point.
They're never going to win anything, so just to get them as high as they can.
I think the season down will have done them a world of good. The stadium, I'm looking forward to going back there.
Yeah, me too.
With all the improvements. I always enjoyed going anyway. I like going back to 1950s, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that's Castleford.
No, that's 40s.
Oh, that's 40s.
So, yeah, I think they'll go all right. I think they've made some decent signings. Good luck to them.
What have they made of Wakefield, of their recruitment, of Tom Johnson, Corey Hall,
well, I think they've recruited as best they could.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they'll be, like Chris said, I think they could surprise a few. Again, with sides that come up, it's normally around injuries. They'll have a decent 13, and then
it's just what's below
if
that.
you drop 3 out of that 13. What have they got to come in?
I'm not keen on Truman. He's got all the skill. He's lost his whatever pace he had, and I just can't see him staying fit.
That's the thing. You Duncan, you mentioned Mikey Lewis being so key to OKR, which he is. Truman's that for Wakefield, but there's no way he's going to play 15 games for them this year.
Yeah, he's had his problems, hasn't he? Which is why
he just cannot stay fit.
And it is a real shame because he's a talented kid.
He's a good player, but again, it's one of those where if he's not on the pitch, he's not going to be able to affect. And then they're going to have Ollie Russell and Mason Lee.
I had to do a comparison with a Leeds player, but it's like a bit like Jack Walker was.
Yep,
he's got all the talent, and he's just been really, really unfortunate with injury.
I don't mind Ollie Russell actually. I thought he played well on Boxing Day, but he's not gonna get you top 4, is he?
No.
A steady away Super League player.
I think that their highest that they'll target is 6th, isn't it? And then they'll be in that like mix. They'll be in that mix of like probably with like 6-7 games to go. They might be like 2 or 4 points behind. Like needing a couple of results to go their way to get in the 6th.
They'd be happy with that, wouldn't they?
They'd be on the moon. Absolutely on the moon. They aren't going to get relegated.
No,
we can't.
Or finish 12th. Sorry, that's never going to happen. Where just off playoffs, I reckon 8th, 9th,
between 6th and 8th.
6th and 8th.
With the following win, they might get in the 6th.
I can't remember where I've placed anyone else.
It doesn't matter. No one's
going. I'm going 8th.
8th.
I think I've already said someone there, but anyway, they're going to share the 8th position
with whoever you said previously on the pod. I think they'll finish slightly lower. I'll say 9th, but like I echo Chris, I'm chuffed at the back. I love what they're doing around the ground, and I think they're a massive addition to the league. Welcome back, Wakefield. The other side, the other half, Castleford of Wakefield. They've signed 7 new players, but do you know any of them? Does anyone?
I don't know. You're going to tell us now.
Zach Sinney, Dejan Asse, Jeremiah Simbakan, and Judah Rimbu. I'll be honest, I don't know any of those players, so I can't really comment on whether they're world beaters or they aren't. Some of them have signed from, most of them have signed from the NRL. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I don't even think Danny can save. I've put from relegation there, but on my notes, but obviously that's not.
I think what they will do, Danny Maguire and Delaney, is they'll make them. I would expect them to be quite tough to beat at home.
Yeah. I think that is what they need to target in it.
Yeah,
because it's not a nice place to go, is it?
That's horrible.
They've got such an advantage on that pitch that it's so small. They can play that, and I think Dunk's 100% right. They've got to target home wins. I don't think they'll expect to do much. No. But they've said that for a few years, haven't they?
This is nothing new. It's nothing new to Danny. He knows we're talking about Danny more than anything, but that's it's nothing new to Danny.
It's going to be really interesting, actually, to see how he goes.
I think so. I've been watching with a fascination. Of can he step up?
There's not many better rugby league brains than
there
his,
isn't
is there?
one.
So
there isn't one. Ding ding ding. Castleford finishing position. Duncan. I was giving a bit of
battling with Hull for 11th.
You reckon?
One of them will finish bottom, one of them will finish 11th.
I think Hull will finish bottom. I'm backing Danny to get the Tigers above Hull this year. What do you say, producer Chris?
9th.
Really? Go on, Danny.
That high.
Yeah, squeeze that out of them.
9th.
I like it.
I don't want them to do well. I want Danny to do well.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. Yeah, but I want Cass to do well because it's Danny and Brett that's there. Is this then just Danny's audition for the big one? Do you think?
Depends what happens with Brad Arthur, doesn't it?
You agree with that?
Yeah.
We shall see. Salford Red Devils. We kind of
talk about a bin fire.
I was about to say that. I kind of mentioned the Black and White's Hull being an absolute bin fire, Richard Marr pouring petrol on. This is this sad?
I think I think they knew we were doing this pod. So they brought all this out today. Just
Duncan brought the breaking news of
Is
this? We kind of laughed at Hull, but is this Salford situation? Is it now sad, Duncan? Do you feel any sadness?
If I didn't see
tweets
and speak to have unfortunate interactions with some of them on Twitter,
Rachel Todd,
then I might feel a teeny bit sorry for him, but end of the day, it's a poorly run club.
Yeah, you can only spend over your means.
Yeah, you cut your cloth accordingly, and they haven't.
That's what Wakefield did. Castleford are doing it.
Yeah.
Salford haven't been doing it. I think they're on a plane to Portugal now, aren't they?
Yeah, but
really,
yeah.
Who's authorised that? Is that a freebie from on the beach?
I don't like any.
They're all right getting that plane out, but they've no money to get them back.
I don't like any rugby league team being in trouble, really. But it's not as if it's like come out of the blue.
No, it's been this way. It's been the verge of this for a while.
It's almost another Bradford sort of scenario where they're getting bailed out. They're getting bailed out, but they're still shelling money out on players. We gave them a nice present last year that they just pissed away.
Pissed away, yeah.
RFL have given them
hand out.
I feel more sorry. I don't feel really sorry for the players. I feel more sorry for the staff that are actually employed by the club, because they're going to be the ones that are going to.
They get the brunt of it.
They'll be the ones that suffer more. Yeah.
But something is going to have to give, so they're going to have to sell the players, aren't they?
But they're still saying that they're going to get these bidders coming in.
They've been saying that.
I know, it's like Cass in a new stadium.
It's just
it's
never ever going to happen.
No, and it is a shame. I hope they don't go under. I hope they don't. I actually quite like going to Salford, and I'm in a
even
massive,
though it stinks of shit.
I'm in a massive minority there. Everyone hates it. I think it's quite a nice little ground.
I don't mind it, mate.
And they have played some nice rugby, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it's got to stop. They can't.
Yeah. No.
It can't happen. You can't have a club.
Can't continue
doing that. And I think
no one else can do it, can they?
No.
The RFL have stepped in now. They've openly said today, whenever it was, that they are taking bids for all Salford players. They are also allowing quota spot dispensation to clubs who are willing to sign Salford players. They've got one or two good players. Mark Sneed's probably going to go to Hull.
I think that's nailed on.
Yeah, they've got Novice, they've got Nene McDonald, who someone will sign. But
I've read that somebody's tabled a bid for him already.
It's going to be OKR, isn't it?
OKR.
He probably will get picked up by a Super League club. But
Have they got cap space though?
I don't know, but it depends on
mental dispensation.
I'm going to say it depends.
On your cap.
I suppose, yeah.
But the one, obviously, as Leeds fans, there's only one link and one player to us that we could potentially
get him back.
Be interested.
We're short on second rowers.
Justin Sangare, should we get?
Come back,
Justin. All this forgiven. Rowan's gone. Callum.
If we can get Callum Watkins for a small fee off the cap, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It can kick as well, can't it?
Yeah.
I think we'd be looking at him. I think he fits the squad, doesn't he? Like Chris said, we need this squad finishes off nicely if you sign a back rower.
And he's captain material, isn't he? He's another sort of
voice. He'd be a leader in the group.
Which we that's what Hawley's going to be as well, isn't
it?
You need that sort of. And he's still a quality player, isn't he?
I think he'd come on the pod as well.
He ripped us apart, didn't he, last year at theirs.
And I think if we can get him on a deal that's not costing as much, on not a silly transfer fee, it'll get done. And we've got Ian Blease, that's former Salford. I don't any of the other. I've seen players. I've seen some people say that they want Sneed. He's not fit for me.
Don't fit.
Not a fit for me. Whether you like Frawley or not, is he better than Frawley? Possibly, yeah. But I mean,
they've got the thing is now you can see the progression. It's Frawley, then it's Jack. That's the way we're going.
I'm not sure. I'd want Sneed.
No.
And I think he'll get more money off another club that needs him, like Hull, who's got lots of money now.
I think if he leaves Salford, he'll want like a last payday, won't he?
Yeah,
because it's probably going to be his last sort of.
He's 42.
Whereas
Isn't he?
I don't think Callum will want that, and doesn't he still live round Leeds?
He's not going to live in Salford, is he? Who would?
I think he still lives fairly
Does he?
local, but unless I've got that wrong, but I think that's a bit of a no-brainer.
This seems to me like, and again, this is going to happen. We are going to sign Callum Watkins.
So have you got people that they've signed there?
As long as
it's very redundant in it.
As long as
Masters, Logan Lewis. I think they've only signed 2 players.
Easton Masters is a good player.
Probably head off back to.
I think they'll all leave.
They'll all
anyone on sort of any sort of high money at Salford now
is going to be out the door.
Yeah,
I think we will sign Callum Watkins.
I mean, so. That's sort of their sort of
I am fairly
save
adamant.
Hulsbeck, I'd forgotten about the fire sale at Salford when we were predicting Cass and Hull.
You see, I've not. That's where I've got.
No, you haven't. That's true.
Yeah, because there could be.
So where you predicted them to finish then?
12th.
Bottom?
It depends how many players. It depends. Well, have they got 17 players to put out on field?
They're finishing bottom.
They are.
They're going to have to sell the players. Once RFL have stepped in.
Well, no one's signing Sangara.
He won't be on much though. He'll be all right. Won't he? He'll to stay.
About 22 grand.
They're going to have to sell some players, and because even if they get some investors or whatever, they're going to need some cash out there. And
major investment.
If they can raise 500 grand from other teams paying transfer fees,
I don't even think they'll get transfer fees. I think it's just taking them off the wage bill,
just to take
so the club can run.
Yeah,
they'll be getting the begging buckets out, won't they?
Like Bradford,
GoFundMe
for another.
Well, they've done that already, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they'll get it up. It's probably
didn't they do it where, which was disgraceful, wasn't it? When they did it and they made people pay on direct debit with interest.
With interest on it.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Absolutely vile. Warrington Wolves. They've signed Ollie Leyland from London Broncos, Alfie Johnson, who was a rugby union convert and also a winger, Dan Russell, Papua New Guinea international. What did you make of Sam Burgess's first season?
Well,
Chris,
he did a good job, didn't he?
I thought he was brilliant.
I'm not convinced he's the coach. I think it's Gleeson and but I'm not having a go at Sam Burgess. I think he's surrounded himself by good assistant coaches, and I think sometimes assistant coaches are under sort of valued.
Possibly, yeah.
But he's a man motivator, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of him next year. Where did they finish this year?
They were top 4, weren't they?
I want to say 4th or the 3rd.
I think they were 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd.
I think.
I don't know whether they'll do that again. I think we'll be in a battle with them
for 3rd
or 4th.
They've got a settled.
I don't know, a second.
What they've got going for them is they're a bit like Wigan in terms of they're a settled side. They've got not got many signings coming into like the 17. They've got a settled spine. The likes of Dufty, George Williams, who always plays well against Leeds.
He's a quality player.
There's no what you can do, is there?
Second best half in league.
Yeah, I think they've.
Matt Frawley.
Yeah, Frawley. Yeah.
I think
signs Matt Frawley.
I think I thought Burgess did a much better job than I thought he would do. I thought it'd be an absolute disaster,
100%
but
agree.
He had him firing up until everyone starts saying it's going to be their year, and then it takes that turn again. Yeah.
I think they might have a shout for Challenge Cup.
They always are, though, aren't they, Warrington? They're that cup
Definitely
side where they can turn you over it.
What do you reckon then, Duncan? Finishing position for the Wolves?
I think between us, KR, and Wire, it'd be 3, 4, 5. And that could be in any order.
And you said 3rd, 4th?
3rd or 4th, but then realising that I've got no one lined up for 2nd.
Yeah, I haven't got lined up for 2nd.
My league table's a shit show. It's all shit show.
Well, your league table's a shit show, and my notes are because I haven't put Leigh down.
I like that. Leave him out. That'll really annoy him.
I haven't put any notes.
That'll really annoy him.
For the
Degsy
Leopards
won't like it
at all.
because I know he watches this.
I haven't put one. I don't know who they've signed or anything. Duncan, Leigh, what do you expect?
That's brilliant. I'm really glad you've done that.
What are you expecting from them this year?
They've lost Kai O'Donnell, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have they? Yeah. Let's agree. Yeah.
They have lost Kai
He
O'Donnell.
was class as well.
Which he
wasn't
was. He was really good.
Lachlan Lamb is a very good half. Very good half. I think Adrian Lamb's probably found his level with Leigh as a club.
He's a good coach, yeah.
I think they'll be in that battle for like the lower playoff spots. Because again, they've not really got much.
They've lost Matt Moylan as well, haven't they?
And Tom Amone as well, hasn't
Tom
he? He's
Amone,
gone to Canterbury
Cowboys.
Bulldogs.
Oh, Bulldogs.
So we'll just wait and see. I think I'm putting everyone in like the same positions, but I think they're.
It's just because you'll be right then. Because then if someone says, I said
I
between
actually think
first
they're
and
battling.
12th.
I don't think they'd get as high as 5. I think they're probably battling for that sixth place
last spot.
Yeah. I think they'll be in a scrap for that, and might just miss out. But they have got a strong 13. It's what they've got behind.
They were fairly lucky last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
With injuries.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry. They weren't at the beginning, and then they got a settled squad and rose up the table. They were lucky the first year.
First year with
They were
injuries.
really lucky they hardly had any injuries.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I know most clubs get injuries, but the bigger clubs have got bigger squads, haven't they? So it's a club like Leigh. It's really dependent on
Keeping
injuries.
that 13.
I really, really want them to finish 11th because I want Derek Bowman to have a meltdown and see some people in leopard skin crying and getting really annoyed. It's not going to happen.
Like on the streets of Benidorm at 2 a.m.
My prediction is 6th, maybe, around there.
Yeah.
Tons of meltdowns anyway from Degsy.
Yeah, Sunday's had a couple of
Something really embarrassing he's going to say
glasses
every
of red
couple of
wine.
weeks, which gets really tiresome after a while.
Yeah.
And we've got another season of that leopard. We get it. You call Leeds leopards. You don't need to wear a leopard skin kit.
And I don't get that. It's a bit. Apparently, it sells really well, and they.
I know. I've been to Leigh. Have you
they
seen
love
them all?
it.
They all look like Bet Lynch.
They absolutely love it. I'm going to say
I've banned Tamira, my wife, wearing. She's got a leopard skin like dress.
and
She said, "Shall I wear this?" And I'm like,
no chance.
"Please don't ever wear that again."
I think they'll finish around 9th, 10th. I don't think they're going to be as strong as what. Perhaps you two. Are Huddersfield the last side, or have I missed someone else? It is just Huddersfield, right? Yes. There's no one else missing.
I think so.
Right, if we've missed someone then
Sorry.
getting relegated. Huddersfield, they've signed Tom Burgess, Jacob Gagai, Tiny Milne, Zach Wolford, George King, Liam Sutcliffe. As always, they're struggling with their supporters, but they are getting a new stadium
Huddersfield Blue Sox.
on the horizon, which is much needed. Obviously, the key signing there, Dunk, is Tom Burgess, England international. Are you expecting much from Tom Burgess this year?
See, I think him and I'll call him JWH for short, but I think them two are. I think they're actually quite poor signings.
Really? So you're putting them both as poor?
I think he could go the way of his brother at Wigan.
I think
really that bad?
I just think he's nearing the end. He's on a massive contract.
Massive. Is it a 4-year deal?
3 or 4.
Something
I'm sure
like
it's
that.
a 4 because I was just eye-watering. Is it like 32 or 33?
So I think they're struggling this year. I think they're really
I've got
struggling.
about 4 teams at an 11th.
I think they'll be between 10th and 12th, somewhere like that. I don't think they've got the quality. They've lost the quality, haven't they, with Connor coming to us.
Liam
Sutcliffe, King, Wolford, Milne, Gagai, Jacob Gagai and Tom Burgess. Probably missed a few, but that's all.
They've just got nothing that screams like.
I mean, they've signed like a couple of on the fringe of the NRL, which can go either way.
Yeah.
And sometimes there'll be one of them. There'll be one of them for Huddersfield. Normally unearth someone that you're not quite. you're not quite sure how they're going to go, and then they end up shining. But I can't see them. I think they've put too. I think losing Connor is a massive, massive loss for them. Massive loss.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I know that he got left out a few times and had a bit of a falling out with the previous coach, but I think he was kind of like their X factor. He won them a few games every now and again.
Yeah, we were 4 wins for them.
He always won games against us.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they'll struggle. I think they're a bit light in
and
the
they've
pack.
got a real rookie coach, haven't they? So
more of the same, just a similar year.
I don't like
to
look over
last year.
this year. There's nothing that I see on the side that sort of thinks, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing them. So yeah, and I mean
11th.
They were
everyone's 11th apart from Warrington, Wigan, Leeds, Saints.
They were absolutely turgid to watch with Ian Watson, weren't they? So
yeah,
he's not my kind of coach, really.
No, he's no one's, is he? He's not going to get.
He's gone somewhere, hasn't he?
Is it?
Rugby union.
I don't
Probably.
know.
That's what they tend to do.
I don't know.
Just more of the same for me. I think they'll just be 9th.
Just not
in 8th best.
And not adding anything to anything.
To the league, to nothing.
If they move to the Shea, I'm like, that's a bit of a weird move, but it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
I mean, and I am joking here, Huddersfield fans.
If you are watching, Mike, good evening.
You can get them on a bus, can't you?
You can get them on a taxi, get them on a skateboard.
I don't know what number bus is, but to Halifax.
29.
It's a strange move, but I've told you they should have built a new stadium at Fartown and be called Huddersfield Barracudas. That's sort all the problems out.
It's all there. Coming from the pro. Finishing position, similar.
Yeah, between 10th and 12th.
I agree. Now, to end the show, I want you both to predict the Challenge Cup winners, the league leaders, the grand final, and the Man of Steel. Now, you can kind of say for the Man of Steel, you think it could be this guy. We'll start with the league leaders.
Wigan?
Yeah.
Wigan.
Leeds for me. The Challenge Cup. Duncan, you did mention Warrington favourably in the...
Leeds.
That's it.
You
can come back on. Leeds for me as well.
I'm going Warrington Leeds Challenge Cup final.
And then Leeds win. No, but you said Warrington will win it, didn't you?
No, I said
they'll
do well.
They'll have a good
cup run. I think it'll be Warrington and Leeds. I think it'll be like whatever year it was where we both wear yellow kits. You can't see who's won, so we'll just say Leeds have won it.
So we all say Leeds are going to win the cup. Man of Steel. Who do you reckon for Man of Steel?
Well, I've got to say
Crofty.
Croft.
I've got to say my man, haven't I?
Of course you have.
So it's Lockie Miller.
Man
of Steel.
I've
got to say that.
You're the chairman, you have to.
After he swore at us.
Kill him. No.
Got to say Lockie Miller. Can't say anyone else.
I'm going to agree with Duncan. Brodie Croft. Going to absolutely destroy it more than he did last year.
I know this sounds daft as well, but it depends what Jake Connor can do. If he can get inside.
Jake Connor?
If he can play some magic.
Imagine that.
Because the Man of Steel's voted in a really weird way anyway.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Lockie Miller
accurate.
were in top 5 last year, which you wouldn't think, would you? But I don't know how it's calculated. So
just made up.
That's a curveball, that one. It just depends how many he plays. That's from Leeds. Otherwise, I don't know. Lockie Miller.
And finally, to end the show, the grand final winners. Duncan, say it.
Wigan.
No, you haven't said it. That's the wrong one. Producer Chris.
Unfortunately.
I'm not jinxing out. But I think we have got a chance this year.
Oh, no, I think we've got a real good chance. Real good chance.
Are we going to make the grand final?
Don't know. We've got a chance.
We're going to make the grand final. We've got a chance.
I feel 100% more confident than the last 2 years.
Well, we've got a top coach.
Which best makes coach in the league, I don't care what this is.
Come on, you can talk yourself into it.
Which makes a massive difference. The recruitment's been good.
He's talking himself into
it.
It's over to the players. It's over to the players, isn't it?
Still going Wigan?
Yeah.
I'm still going Wigan. very through gritted teeth. But I'm still going to
Leeds Wigan grand final.
I can see us going deep in every competition. No, I'm not getting off the fence. I've got splinters in my ass.
I think unfortunately it will be Wigan, but I think it's possibly between us
and Wigan
and Warrington to contest it
with Wigan.
I think.
So you're predicting good years for us and Wire then, getting to 2 finals potentially.
Well, can I caveat that?
No. See ya, buddy.
If either of them get to, whoever gets
to one won't get to the other.
They might get to it, but they won't win it.
Right. Because Wigan will win it.
Because Wigan, I think, will win the grand final. But
depends, though. We're going to be a really, really fit side. That's the.
No, you can talk yourself into it.
I know.
You can.
They are going to
just say it. Come on.
Like. You just don't know, do you, with Leeds?
I don't like predicting Leeds.
We could easily rock up on round 1 against Wakey and get beat.
No chance.
I don't think we will. But I'm saying we could
because
that could easily happen.
To be fair, even if we do, I think
we'll still win it.
That could be a massive.
I do expect the home form to be a lot better.
I want us to be losing.
When you look at
two, that's it.
When you look at the documentary, Arthur puts a lot of emphasis on home games.
Home, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't like predicting Leeds really, but
Leeds grand final.
They've got a chance. They've got a chance this year. I think we've got a really good squad. I think
the players are talking about winning competitions as well, and that's a massive shift from previous years.
I think I think their attitude seems to have changed a bit. And Brad Arthur, what he will do is, that's not working. He'll either scare some players or he'll weed some players out.
Well, he's already done that, hasn't he? We've already cleared, like, without going into too much detail, we've already cleared some of the wood. The dead wood has gone. It looks a strong squad on paper. You know, if we had another couple...
Reece Martin.
We had another couple to
Callum.
That. Then...
Get them both back.
You never know, do you?
I think Leeds are going to win the grand final. I think
there's a surprise.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is a new year, new me. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to Duncan. Thanks to Chris for coming down and recording. Please do subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search The Lot Pod. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time we upload some new content. That Media Day video for 2025 is available on there. So please go and watch that. And, of course, we have the Barry McDermott Leeds Rhinos 2025 preview podcast live at the Brotherhood Bar in Leeds on Monday the 27th of January at 7:30pm. It's absolutely free entry, but please do come down early, grab a drink, grab some food, and make sure you get a seat at the front to watch us record that podcast. We'll see you all then. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Take care.